Welcome back to the channel. What's smoking on my dragons? Divine, righteous, almighty, great, overachieving, never slacking. Today we got a pretty interesting video. 15 German brands you pronounce wrong. Right? So I'm about to find out. I already seen in the thumbnail, I seen all these in there. So yeah, this is from Feli from Germany. Original link will be in the description if you want to check out her channel. But we're going to hop right into it and let's see. Let's see what I'm pronouncing wrong.
Hey, have you seen my Adidas shoes? Your what shoes? Adidas, the brand? Oh, Adidas. Not sure. Maybe you've left them in the car? Oh, in your friend's Volkswagen? Huh? Volkswagen, the car brand? It's a German car brand. You should know that. Oh, VW. Okay. Hallo, Servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Felicia. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but have been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio, on and off since 2016. So a little update before I get into the topic. I had my wrist surgery last Tuesday. Everything went well and my insurance approved it, so they're fully paying for it, which is great. I was pretty knocked out afterwards for a few days, but I'm doing better every day, and today is the first time that I thought I would try to record something, as you can see. I'm having my first follow-up appointment in 4 days, and as promised, there will be another video about this topic in a few weeks. But a few weeks ago, before I broke my wrist, I made a video about mistakes that many Germans make when speaking English, and a lot of you guys asked me to make a video the other way around about mistakes that non-native speakers make in German, and that's definitely going to come, but there's actually a very similar topic that I've been wanting to cover for a while. So that's what I'll talk about today. German brand names that English native speakers often pronounce very differently than we do in Germany, and some of these brands you may not even realize that they're German. So I made a list of 15 German brand names that are typically mispronounced in English, and I'm going to tell you how they're pronounced correctly in German and also give you a little background information on some of them as well. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, which I've talked about before. It's an online learning community that offers thousands of classes for creative and curious people like you and me. They have countless video classes about things like photography, video making, interior design, marketing, or lifestyle topics like minimalism or journaling, or you can find and practice new hobbies and take painting or dance classes. And of course, you can also learn a language on there, including German, which I know a lot of you guys are interested in. The question that I think I get asked the most is if I have any advice for how to learn German, and I always say that you should listen to it and speak it as much as possible, but taking classes to get some formal instruction and exercises at your level is definitely part of it too. And the great thing about Skillshare is that there's no ad breaks and it's actually coherent lessons, so you don't have to worry about what's going to be the next step and Google for another tutorial. You just move on to the next chapter. I just recently checked out the class Video Editing, Transforming Footage into Evocative Travel Stories by Oliver Astrologo. Even though I obviously do know how to video edit, but I actually find it interesting to check out how other people do it every now and then and get some inspiration as to how I could improve things or do things a little differently. Now, if you're interested in joining Skillshare as well, make sure to check out the link in the info box below, because the first 1,000 people to use this link will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. And even without that offer, it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. And with that, let's jump into our German brand names. First, of course, we have to talk about car brands, because German cars are being sold all over the world. They're famous all over the world, and a lot of people talk about them or even own a German car. The first one is Audi. Most Americans that I know pronounce it like I just said it, Audi. Yep. In German, we say Audi, Audi. And there's actually a funny story as to where
Audi, like you're saying ow. Howdy, Audi.
Where this name came from. In 1904, a guy called August Horch founded a car company called A. Horch und Company, Motorenwarenwerke Zwickau, but a few years later, he left the company and founded a new one. But he wasn't allowed to call it Horch again, and since that's not only his last name, but also means listen in the imperative form, he ended up translating it into Latin, and that's Audi. So Audi means Listen. The company is located in Ingolstadt in Bavaria. Then, of course, one of the most famous car brands in the world is this one. It's located in Stuttgart, Germany. I've heard Americans pronounce it Porsche or Porsche. In German, we say Porsche. So there's like this short E sound in the end. Porsche. It was founded by Ferdinand Porsche in 1931.
Sounds like she's saying portion.
As a company for vehicle development work and consulting. And one of the first assignments that the company had was from the Nazi government at the time to design a car for the general public, which was what later would become Volkswagen. And so they designed the Volkswagen Beetle, the VW Käfer. This one sounded super funny to me when I first heard how people pronounce it in English. I actually used to drive one back in Germany. So most Americans call this Mercedes. In German, we pronounce it Mercedes. So Mercedes versus Mercedes. Mercedes. So it's really pretty different. And the full name of
two different worlds of pronunciation right there. Wow.
Of course, is Mercedes-Benz. I've also heard that in England, people also refer to Mercedes as Merc. A German will not know what you're talking about if you say that, just for your information. Originally, it was just the company Daimler Motorengesellschaft, founded in 1890. The name Mercedes was added later, inspired by a Daimler car dealer called Emil Jelinek, who was also driving car races under the alias Monsieur Mercedes, which was based on his daughter's first name, Mercedes Jelinek. The name was later also used for one of the car models in the year 1900, and then eventually became the name of the brand itself. This one simply has 3 letters, but of course they're pronounced differently in English and in German. In English, people say BMW. In German, we say BMW because W is pronounced W in German, and it stands for Bayerische Motorenwerke, which means Bavarian Engine Works.
Insane how different we are. We're like, wow.
And of course, BMW is located in my hometown, Munich, which is the capital of Bavaria. The company was founded in 1916 and originally mainly produced aircraft engines. It's said that the logo represents a plane propeller, and it also has the colors of Bavaria, blue and white, to show the company's origin. Then after World War I, they survived by producing motorcycle engines, farm equipment, household items, and railway brakes, and built their first motorcycle in 1923 and then became a car manufacturer a few years later. They then went back to concentrating on aircraft engines again during World War II, using forced labor from prisoners in concentration camps, and didn't get back into car manufacturing until 1952. Overall, all of these German car brands that I just mentioned are more or less considered luxury brands in the US. I mean, Porsche, of course, is considered a luxury brand in Germany as well, but Audi, Mercedes, and BMW are pretty much just regular car brands to us. Obviously, they do have expensive luxury cars as well, but the regular models are driven by people from all social classes in Germany. English speakers call this Volkswagen, while in Germany we usually just call it VW, VW, VW. But even if we did go by the full name, it would be pronounced Volkswagen and not Volkswagen. So just imagine that it was spelled with an F and V instead. Volkswagen. This literally means people's car or car of the people, and it was founded during the Third Reich in the late 1930s because Hitler wanted to have a car that was affordable for middle-class Germans and that met the needs of an average family. So this was his attempt to make cars something that wasn't only available to upper-class people, but to the general public. And the company is based in Wolfsburg. Now let's move on to something other than cars.
Adidas.
So this is one of the brands where when I heard Americans say this for the first time, I didn't understand at all what they were referring to because they usually pronounce it Adidas, and in Germany we say Adidas. Adidas, Adidas. Super different. It's the
More similar than the other words, for sure.
Second largest sportswear manufacturer in the world after Nike, and I don't think that a lot of people know that this is a German company. It also has an interesting backstory. It was founded by Adolf Dassler.
I had no clue that was German, and let me just say to you Germans out there, that is a big influence in what we call so-called Black American culture, going back to the early start of hip-hop, b-boying, graffiti, all that. Rappers, I mean, that Adidas is like a big influence. So shout out to Germany. Much love to y'all.
Whose nickname was Adi, so the brand name is based on his first and last name, Adidas. He founded the company at his mother's house after he returned from World War I, and he actually played a big role in developing spiked running shoes. In 1924, his brother Rudolf joined the company, and they founded the Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. But they later got into a fight, split up, and his brother actually founded his own company called Puma, which became the biggest rival of Adidas.
Wow.
So both Adidas and Puma are German brands.
Crazy.
Another shoe manufacturer that many Germans would probably consider very, very German. Like if you talk about something typically German, Birkenstock is definitely going to be mentioned, but of course this brand is known all over the world nowadays, and it's natural that people pronounce it with their native accent, so English speakers usually say Birkenstock. In German we say Birkenstock. Birkenstock, Birkenstock, which literally translates to birch stick. The roots of the company go all the way back to the 18th century, by the way. From shoes to alcohol, this is pronounced Jägermeister in German, Jägermeister. English speakers usually say Jägermeister, which is pretty much the same, just with a pretty thick accent. And people also often use the abbreviation Jäger, like, can I have a shot of Jäger, please? It literally means hunt master. Jäger is the hunter and Meister is master, and it's a German herbal liquor. This is a German grocery store. You can also find them in other European countries, and they even have some stores in the US. I usually get the majority of my groceries at Aldi here in the US. In Germany, we call stores like Aldi or Lidl discounters because they sell groceries for very low prices. In English, people usually pronounce this Aldi. I think I've also heard Aldi before, but
never heard Aldi, but always Aldi for sure. Aldi's.
I think most people say Aldi, or they also sometimes add an S that isn't there in the end and say Aldis. In Germany, we just say Aldi. It has its origins in 1945 when the two brothers Theo and Karl Albrecht took over their mother's corner store and came up with the concept of having a small selection while having low prices. The name Aldi comes from Albrecht Discount, so Albrecht, which is their last name, discount. In Germany, we have Aldi Süd and Aldi Nord, Aldi South and Aldi North. Again, this is because of two brothers splitting up into two different businesses. In the US, the store is simply called Aldi, and it actually belongs to Aldi South, while the store Trader Joe's belongs to Aldi North.
Had no clue.
Now let's move on to cosmetics. Nivea is a German brand from Hamburg that's mainly known for its face lotion in the little blue container, but of course they offer a large variety of products nowadays. Again, I find the English pronunciation pretty funny here. English native speakers usually say Nivea.
Yeah.
In German we say Nivea. Nivea, so the emphasis is on the E. Nivea.
Nivea.
This is a German hair cosmetics brand that you can find all over the world pretty much. In German, we pronounce it Schwarzkopf, which literally means black head. Schwarzkopf. English native speakers usually pronounce it Schwarzkopf or Schwarzkopf or something along those lines. Deutsche Bank is the largest bank in Germany. Deutsche Bank also literally means German bank. Of course, you can find Deutsche Bank not only in Germany, but in other countries as well. A good friend of mine here in Cincinnati actually just did an internship with them in their New York City location. And she's also going to start a full-time job with them soon. And Americans usually pronounce it Deutsche Bank or something along those lines. And my friend always uses the abbreviation Deutsch when she refers to it. So like she said, I got a job offer from Deutsch, which is just really funny to me because that literally just means German. This is a German manufacturer of high-end domestic appliances, and it's not exactly pronounced wrong in English, but English native speakers usually say something like Miele. So it usually sounds more like an A in the end, whereas in German we say Miele. Miele, so the last letter is just a little bit different. And Miele really does stand for quality. If you invest in a Miele dishwasher or washing machine, you just know that it's going to be a good product and it's going to last. This is something that everyone knows and loves, hopefully. Maybe not everyone knew that Haribo is actually German. We pronounce it Haribo. Haribo. And again, the name originates in the name of the founder of the company, which was Hans Riegel, and he was from the city of Bonn in Germany. So Hans Riegel from Bonn, and he always took the first two letters, put them together, and it became Haribo. Hans Riegel Bonn. Haribo. And last but not least, let's talk about a company that is not doing super well during these times, but it's one of the largest companies in Germany and second largest airline in Europe. And maybe you've flown with them before. In English, people usually say Lufthansa, but in German, we say Lufthansa. So the emphasis is on the first syllable, Lufthansa versus Lufthansa. And that was the last brand name on my list. So now, of course, I want to know from you guys which of these brand names you've always mispronounced and maybe which ones you didn't even realize were German brands. And also let me know in the comments below which German brand or maybe German celebrity name or something like that you've always wanted to know how to pronounce it correctly. And maybe I can do a follow-up video soon and let you guys know what the pronunciation is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my other language-related videos as well. You can find them in this playlist. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And also make sure to activate the little bell next to the subscribe button to make sure that you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Because right now with my broken wrist, things are just a little tricky for me and I can't really predict when and how many videos I'm going to be able to make in the next few weeks. But whenever I do manage to finish something, I'm just going to upload it whenever it's finished. So make sure to get the notification whenever that happens. And until then, you can see what I'm up to on Instagram and on Facebook. And you can also support me even more and join my Patreon family, patreon.com/, or support me with a small donation on buymeacoffee.com. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe and healthy, everyone, and I hope I'll see you next time. Tschüss!
Woo, shout out to her. Definitely show her some love. Once again, that's hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Feli from Germany. Yeah, original link in the description. She had me the most shocked at Adidas, all these BMW, Mercedes-Benz. I mean, these are things growing up in New York you hear all the time. So to hear that it's pronounced wrong, especially Mercedes, like that was a whole nother world of pronunciation there. Definitely threw me off there. Wow, incredible video. I learned something today for sure. Yeah, I've been pronouncing things wrong. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely don't hesitate to hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell, and I'll be back with more soon. Much love to Germany.